Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. My name is Sienna, and this is Quantum Convergence, where shadows dissolve and the soul remembers. This is a space where the veil lifts, soul fragments return, and quantum convergence begins. Hi, friends. So I was woken up in the middle of the night again by my guides, and it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. It's about 4:30 now, and a word that came through, and I woke up and was still really tired, but the word was time. And this message is going to be about how we are all, from this collective, the ones that are going to be drawn to this reading, have been experiencing shifts in their circadian rhythm. Their natural clock isn't as calibrated as it normally has been because you are in this shift now and moving into holding a different vibration, holding a different frequency, and time isn't going to be as it's going to be more fluid. It's going to be more liquid. And they want you to understand that this is a normal process of learning how to become more soul embodied and not so much connected to the density of the 3D that we experience on a regular basis. And having this shift in your rhythm, having this shift in your frequency is going to feel a little disorienting. And another word that came through is exhaustion. You're probably going to be experiencing a lot of um, the need to sleep, the need to rest on a regular basis. And this isn't just sleeping, but it is going to be a part of it. It's going to be more about a true rest, resting the body, the mind, the spirit. Because what I'm picking up from this collective is we have all been, probably since around either 2017, 2019, even starting in 2021, we were experiencing a cycle, and this cycle was taking us into the subconscious to push us to explore and push us to figure out what it was that was causing us to feel so stuck and to feel as if we were experiencing lots of karmic loops or certain relationship dynamics, or maybe, at that time you were being called to reevaluate your life, reevaluate who you are, what you want, what you desire in your life, and how you are really going to create a life where you're happy and you aren't feeling so bogged down by everything going on in the environment. And this cycle that we were pulled into, it was about realizing that we had things that were buried, that we had things that needed to come to the surface. And if you're here, I can guarantee you have been working through these things for a very long time. And what is coming through for this collective too is because the level at which you have been diving into this healing within yourselves, you're experiencing a lot of exhaustion. And this exhaustion is soul deep exhaustion. It goes into the marrow of the bones. You are tired and you have been holding the frequency of probably your circles that you run in, and maybe within relationships, maybe even within your career in some way, you have been holding the energy of these spaces. And this isn't something that you're doing from a place of usually knowing the level at which you're expending your energy. But over time, what happens is it compounds and it compounds, and you're wondering why you're fatigued, why you're always exhausted, why at the end of the day you need an hour to just decompress before you're even able to function. These these things that are happening to you when it comes to this fatigue, when it comes to recognizing cycles that are happening in your life, karmic loops, um, relationship dynamics within family, within your career, within your romantic partnerships, within your friendships. All of these are being called to your attention to look at, and for you to go, okay, what is it in my environment right now that I can take back my energy? Not from a place of I'm doing this because you're a burden to me or because of any other reason than it's self-love and it's self-care. And and taking care of your energy is self-love. We aren't taught that, especially more than likely within this collective, because we came from extreme trauma. And in our backgrounds, we always were taught to put everyone else first and to put everyone else's needs above our own. And you're being called to shift that. And this exhaustion that we're experiencing is pushing us to take that time for ourselves, pushing us to relax, pushing us to get out in nature, pushing us to breathe, take a minute to maybe do some yoga, to journal, to write, to have your creative outlets and your creative expressions, maybe picking up that hobby you haven't done in a while. Those are the things that are going to refuel you. But what they're also wanting you to know is a lot of this exhaustion that you're experiencing is because you are now releasing all of these things that you had been holding on to. You're recognizing the patterns, you're recognizing that there were things that still needed to come to the surface, that still needed to be worked through. No matter how many times we think that we might be done with something that we've been working on when it comes to our shadows, it always has another layer. And it'll especially have another layer or another depth to get to when it is a part of your soul's lesson in this lifetime. And and those lessons are the core lessons that need to be identified so that you understand that it's just an ongoing part of your life. Maybe it has to do with relationships. Maybe there's been difficulty in that area of your life. Maybe it has to do with your career or your finances. We all have, or your interpersonal relationships with friends. Like all of these things, we each have our own unique footprint, our own unique fingerprint that we are experiencing, that we chose to experience in this life. And right now, this exhaustion and being um, having the need to rest, having the need to take care of yourself in a new way is being called to your attention. So it's not just a nudge anymore. It used to be kind of a subtle nudge like, "Hey, you need to take care of yourself a little bit better." No, now we are getting we're getting these really very defined pushes in specific directions that are going to put us on our correct timeline. And if we're not on the right timeline, and if we have been maybe out of balance or not been taking our mission and our purpose seriously, we're going to be directed through forced rest and through things that are going to push you to open up to new layers of your intuition and to new ways of receiving messages from spirit and from source, from the universe or the creator, whoever, whatever you like to call source energy. As you begin anchoring into these new ways of perceiving your intuition and diving into new layers of that intuition, those messages from source, know that what you're experiencing is you are learning how to become an even more clear channel to receive the messages that you need that are going to assist you in the way that you need to be assisted moving forward and moving through some of these dynamics that you might be experiencing in this timeline. And I feel like this might be a good place to leave this because there is more to this message, but I feel like right now within this collective, we are just building this space. And as we continue to build this community, more and more energy is going to be contributing to these messages. And I feel like this specific message is going to resonate with the ones with the community that we're beginning to build. And I wanted to say thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much for your comments that you've been leaving. I really appreciate all of the things that you share. And I love that we have already doubled our community in this last, just couple weeks. So thank you so much to everyone, and I look forward to sharing new channel messages for you. If you haven't had a chance to yet, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and then check out some of the other videos if this one resonated with you, because if so, the other ones will probably resonate with you as well. So, wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, day, or evening. Until soon, goodbye.